No. Yeah, so here's the Trump one, and again, just like in Putin one, I have a Trump picture. Just why not? You know, no one's gonna bat you for stealing that.
I remember reading that one.
Yeah, it's a classic. I have a bunch of links in there. It's a gold mine for people who like to read extra things. So this is a good one. This was awesome. So this, I just had a regular picture, and this is my most popular story, and it got, you see, almost 10,000 views. Pretty good. And it got so popular that some guy just drew this guy, Black Flash, drew like a line art of that picture. And I was like, oh, cool, dude, thanks so much for drawing that. I've never had anyone draw me fan art before. That's awesome. That'll be my new cover art. So I make a cover art, and then my buddy Kaio is like, yo, I can color that for you. I'm like, yeah, dude, color it, nice. So I had people make me cover art for free for the stories. I'm like, all right, rock and roll. So yeah, okay. We got 6 minutes left. Questions?
Best pony.
Oh, it's hard to pick one.
Here, maybe one's easier.
Okay.
Who's your favorite character to write for?
Ooh, so there's a number of characters that are super versatile. Princess Luna is one, because she's been portrayed in the show as like completely like schizophrenic, and you can do whatever you want with her. She's been portrayed as dark and moody. She's been portrayed as sort of a troublemaker. You can put your own spin on things and have her just be like a tired worker. You know, whatever you feel like doing. I think there's a lot of stuff you can do with her. Other characters, Princess Celestia always has to be very standard and prim and proper, and, you know, maybe kind, but you do a little bit of stuff with her. With, you know, so that's something you can't really versatile with. So I like the versatile characters. Starlight is an example of another character you can do a lot with because it just depends on how you want to write her. Pinkie Pie is a lot just because she's so insane. You can put her in a whole bunch of insane situations. Yeah.
Also, she's a de facto fourth wall breaking human.
Yeah, I don't break fourth wall in my stories a whole lot because I just think it's kind of overused. But yeah, you can. Yeah.
How do you deal with something like how do you deal with something like writer's block?
Writer's block. People have different ways of doing it. Sometimes I just need to like have a beer and think about it, have a think. As one of my favorite online comedians says, just have a think of it. The steps in the science process are guessing, clues, looking, and having a think. But I would say for me, most often what works is dropping it and coming back later when I feel inspiration. I think about things, I'm laying in bed at night, and that's when I get my best ideas. I come back the next day, 2 days from then, 3 days from then, I'm ready to go. I have a lot of good news. Yeah, let's go.
Do you have any tropes that you like to do versus tropes that you like to avoid? Because I know you just said, like with the breaking the fourth wall, you don't really like to use that trope.
Yeah. So the one thing is, one thing that really pisses me off is people that reduce everything in a story to just whatever the trope they think it's closest to is. I wrote a story and the guy's like, oh, that was a great story until the end where you use this trope. And I like followed the link. I'm like, this is nothing like that. What are you talking about? What do you mean? So what I would say is just, you know, the problem with the tropes is you have to use a lot of tropes because the characters are tropes. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're not tropes in the sense that they're like traditional characters, but they are like Applejack's a farmer, she's honest, she's hardworking, like you gotta deal with that. You gotta live with that. I would say don't try to make it, whatever you're doing, don't make it super cheesy. Make it a little bit subtle, hidden. I wrote, one of the stories I wrote for December was this one here. It was not very popular at all. You know, only 131 views, but I loved it. I loved reading it. I thought it was really quality. You know, reading my own, I cry when I read my own stories sometimes. It's really sad. I'm that lonely. So this is just ponies, written from the first perspective. It's a pony coming home from housewarming, and as you progress through the story, he comes home and you figure out as he sort of thinks about things. He's been away from his family a long time. He's done something wrong. You don't know what it is. And at the end, his dad comes out to meet him. And he thinks he's not sure if they're going to accept him, and they do. And of course, that is the parable of the prodigal son, but written as ponies. And it's not like I hit you, like, oh, it's not like I put, you know, yo, stolen from Matthew 7 at the bottom of the description, or whatever chapter it is. But, like, that's what that is, and that's a really good trope, and as long as you're careful and gentle with it, you can make it. In the back.
Between how many words would you consider a medium-sized story to be? Like,
So, a novelette is anything above 7,500 according to official things, and a novel is like 50,000 or above or something.
40,000.
Whatever it is. So, I mean, one-shot stories, in my opinion, should be usually less than like 5,000 words. If you're getting to 10,000, you really should be breaking it.
5,000 words is generally considered to be short story. That's about
Beautiful.
where people buy short stories
Right.
at that length.
So I'm out of time. They just motioned me. So one more question. Anyone got one? All right, Alex, what do
The
you got?
most important element to a good cuddle fic.
Oh, lots of fluff. I write lots of cuddle fics. Here are the keys, by the way.
Thank you.
I write lots of cuddle fics. I like to cuddle ponies. I'm passionate about it. I like to hug ponies. I'm that lonely again. So description. That's the key to that. So thank you so much for coming, guys. It was awesome. Follow me, Categorical Grant on FimFiction. I'm here to talk for 5 minutes maybe. Au revoir. Enjoy the con.